Look at these two. They remind me of those people that like wake up super early to get to the beach in the summer to get like the most sun they possibly can. But it's super hot outside, and don't worry, I'm gonna set like a 10-minute timer to call them back in. But you guys know that they love this one, so they might not want to come back in. But they did get haircuts recently, so it's not like too bad on the fur, but it's still rough. But honestly, like we've had like baby pools, like the plastic ones out for them. They don't go in there. They want to go in the sun. Although it feels, nice, but I'm like, oh my god, it's too hot. Come back in. You know. Oh, by the way, Duncan is giving them in those bags because my friend Deb went this morning and she got a cruller for Dolly, and then she's a double chocolate girl like I am. There we go. Although I do like strawberry too. Depends. Alexa, play Bloodline by Alex Warren.
To listen to specific songs anytime you like, just say try Amazon Music Unlimited, Bloodline, and similar songs on Amazon Music.
Anyway, I totally planned my day wrong. I made coffee at home instead of getting one from Dunkin', but it is National Donut Day, and I did end up getting a donut, but you'll see in a minute. But I actually do love that song from Alex Warren. You ever hear the saying, we keep making the wrong person famous? Alex Warren is the person that we made the right person famous, and I love him. But yeah, I just had my regular coffee. I was just trying to move something, but I didn't want to knock anything over. But yep, today is Friday. Happy Friday. And today was ARCA Day, which I guess is the mega accident reconstructionists in the Karen Reed case. They were hired by the feds first, but now the defense gets to use them. Hi friends, if you see me wailing my arms like crazy, it's because there's a fly in here and I'm trying to find it. But it's National Donut Day, and yes, I did have a coffee, but I had to get a donut, so I got a lemonade, and I'm over. Hold on. So Duncan actually did a collab with Stony Clover Lane. You know those bags with the patches on them, and then people are always like, "Oh, you can make the dupes." Hold on, I'll turn it around in 1 second. Those little patches with the outline on it, and then the patches of the other stuff. Kind of reminds me of what you would put on a denim jacket, but people put it on a bag. But anyway, as I stated before, I planned my day wrong, and I got a lemonade instead of coffee, and oh my dear lord, Dunkin' is only good for coffee, and that's it. Coffee and hot chocolate. I stand on that, and donuts, of course. Well, yeah, coffee, hot chocolate, and donuts, but I've been for 7 on other drinks to get, and oh my god, no, even the lemonade, and I was like, oh, maybe it's watered down, because my mom had to drive home and it was hot today, but I was like, this is not good. So anyway, it's my fault. I should have just sucked it up and got 2 coffees or hot chocolate or something else, but I was like, I'm not good at thinking on my feet. But I did get a double chocolate donut, which I love, which they don't always have, because I don't know why, but the backup of that is, my backup is strawberry frosted with sprinkles, like a regular donut with strawberry frosted and sprinkles. And then I did get my apple challenge in because life is all about balance. Nobody has to earn food and nobody has to exercise, but my brain does feel better when I exercise, mentally. Now we are 28 days into this Karen Reed trial, and I'm sure you guys are over me talking about it. But okay, if I wasn't ever in any type of like serious accident, or like if something shady happened, or like God forbid somebody that I love was hurt or something, and like something needed to be reconstructed, I'm calling those ARCA people. You know why? Number one, the guy was like very like professional, but he was like also really, really cute. He actually looked like he could be in like a book, like a romancy book. And the prosecutor, now he was there all day between direct, cross, and a little bit of redirect, and then now this poor guy has to come back on Monday. I mean, who knows, whatever. But anyway, but this prosecutor was like, well, because like I said earlier, they were hired by the feds at first, and this prosecutor was like, well, but they can't say the feds to the jury. But the prosecutor was like, well, do you have like people in your family that are like rooting for one side or the other, so to speak, basically? And he's like, my close family? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, no, I don't know why. Or no, I don't believe so, blah, blah, blah. And then I couldn't pause the screen fast enough to read what it was. But, it seemed to be like a Facebook post. And I'm like, why are we digging into experts' families? Like, rip apart their testimony all you want, because that's like what they're there to do. But why are we digging into Facebook? Listen, I tell you, I will never get rid of Facebook. One, because it has pictures of my grandmother on it, and like now all of my family, and I keep up with my extended family. But two, like, I love the Facebook groups. Anyways, but I was like, oh my God. But anyway, remember the guy, the Commonwealth's expert that like dressed up like what John O'Keefe was wearing, which was very creepy, weird, okay? And he like basically did the like simulated crash test by himself. Well, these guys, these ARCA guys, were in here. There's two of them. One testified today, and I think one's gonna testify later. But anyway, these guys used a crash test dummy named Wreck-It Randy, because I think it's Wreck-It Randy, because Randy, like R-A-N-D-Y, because I think because in my brain I kept going, oh, Wreck-It Ralph, you know. But oh my God, like these are the guys. Like literally, nobody really watches commercials anymore, but if you see those commercials for like the car crash test, and it's like, oh, in 72% of crash tests, like this, Ford whatever survived, or whatever. Like it was that kind of dummy doll, I guess, right? And I was like, okay. I was like, finally, something to show the jury. And let me tell you, they also bought an exemplar Lexus, but it was not $400,000. Okay. And that Lexus, the one that they did with the crash test dummy, the back of it, like the trunk and bumper, was all messed up, but guess what wasn't touched? The taillight. And I was like, ooh, maybe science is fun. But then he was talking about like physics, and I was like, sir, That's not fun, but you could just explain it to me. But I was like, oh my gosh. So it was very cool. But yeah, they're thinking that the jury might get the case, maybe like, I don't know. Because here's what's left. We have to finish with the first ARCA guy. Then there's a second ARCA guy. Then there's a defense medical examiner, like another, like, autopsy person. Then the Commonwealth, since they have the burden of proof, they have rebuttal witnesses. Then they have to have a whole, like, jury conference, which is, like, where you go in and you say, okay, this is what we want the paper to say that the judge is going to read to the jury, which is the instructions, like, they go letter, whatever, they go through it. And then they have an hour each for closing arguments, so maybe the conference takes like a half a day and they do that in the morning. Then the closing arguments are next. And then the judge reads whatever the paper is from that conference to the jury. That takes like 30, 45 minutes. And then they can go deliberate. But I think this judge is only limiting them to 1 hour each for closing arguments, which I don't think is fair. Because if I wasn't videotaping every day, / watching it back with 50,000 other law nerds in the chat, or / other live streams on Facebook, or, all the places, right? There's no way I would remember what was said on day 1 versus day 25, okay? And so, like, I don't know. I don't think that's fair, because I think the closing argument, it was like, it's like you saw this and you saw that and the evidence was this. Like, it's basically like a season finale, basically, right? I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you guys got for National Donut Day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.